3, 2, 1.
Good morning, 106.3. This is Keisha Sloss with House to Home Realtors, Credit to Closing. I have a very special guest, Miss Asia Rivers with Seal the Deal. She is going to be talking about, well, this is going to have to be a part one because she has a lot to talk about. And I know people are wondering, why do you have somebody with business credit? Well, the thing about it is business owners are homeowners. So you have to get your business credit together to get your income well. So I'm going to let Miss Asia Rivers take over.
Gotcha. Good morning, everyone. I am Coach Asia Rivers of Seal the Deal Enterprises, and I am so happy to be here today on the show. So first, let me give you guys a little information about my background. I started my first business about 6 years ago, and it was in the childcare industry. I started right here on 6th and Oak and started very small. I did not have any kind of information on how to start my business, how to grow my business, and also protect it. And so I was completely lost, and I needed a bunch of resources, and I didn't have it at my fingertips. So a lot of head bumping went a long way. But it did start with my personal credit. My personal credit score was very, very poor. I did not take the time to be able to get all of my finances aligned, paying off collections, paying down my credit cards, all of that. That was just the first stage. The second stage was establishing business credibility. And we just think, starting a business, you're just supposed to establish it and pay the business bills out of the business bank account. Well, that is not all you need. You need a lot more. So I went into research mode. I am a lover of research. I love education. So I had to go back in my mode. It took a whole year to be able to figure out a process on how to build business credit. And once I did, I was able to unlock over $100,000 within 90 days for my business. Yes.
I need you.
So it just simply starts with building your business credit profile, knowing that you have one. So if you don't know you have one, then you don't know where to look. You have to create one, and that's typically through Dun & Bradstreet. Dun & Bradstreet's scoring method is on a scale of 1 to 100, and so it's quite different from a personal credit score, which you typically see between 300s to 900. So it's very easy to be confused. At about a score of an 80, you're able to unlock that business credit that you need. You need those reporting trade lines, and some people don't know which vendors to be able to start accounts with to be able to establish their business credit. So again, very, very long journey. I lost my first business probably within around year 2. So I had to be able to figure out how to pivot and be able to grow, but also introduce new lines of streams of income into the business. So that is where my business lies at. And so I go around, I teach other business owners how to build their business credit, and I work with clients all over the U.S. and those that's actually coming into the U.S. to be able to start businesses.
Oh, wow. So how different is it to build up your business credit versus your personal?
So it's very, very different. So there is a 3-round process, somewhat similar to personal credit. But again, with the 3-round process for business credit, it's round 1, you're figuring out the vendors that you need to work with, establishing your business credit profile through Dun & Bradstreet, making sure your articles of organization is correctly reported at the state level. Your federal tax ID number is displayed in all accurate places. Even something simple as the business address could send off information that's incorrect and make it seem like that you're a fraudulent company. So it's those things that we don't know that stops us from being able to get those business lines of credits with traditional financing. And there are sources of untraditional finances, but some of the best ones, those low rates for commercial properties or purchasing commercial vehicles, you'll need that traditional funded. So it's a very different process. But if you have the formula in 90 days, you're good to go.
So how can they get your book?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I have my first book that I created was solely targeted towards child care owners. However, after the first 6 months, there was a strong need. Like, there was so much demand in the marketplace for me to expand my services to entrepreneurs, because of course business applies to all avenues, any industry, retail, child care, the clothing industry, all different industries I work with, any industry that is a high risk rated industry. And so those are some of those keywords that we talk about in my book and in my credit course. So the book that's coming out January the 1st is called Business Credit Secrets for Entrepreneurs: 10 Ways to Build, Utilize, and Protect Your Business Credit. And of course, the business course, which accompanies that, is a 12-week course where you have me coaching and consulting, making sure that we have fine-tuned some of those details that prevents you from getting some of those credit business credit lines. And I only take 25 students every quarter, and I'm already at max capacity and ready to go for January.
So how do they sign up for your credit card?
So you can quickly find me, all of my books, all of my details at www.talkbizcredit, and it's TalkBizCredit.com.
So do you want to go a little bit more in depth about I think it's your first book with the child care?
Yes. So I have other books that was created before the business credit had taken way. So I have a strong need to advocate for our children, because I was a child in foster care. So I experienced a lot, and I mean a lot of trauma. So I had been diagnosed with PTSD and bipolar 2 disorder. And people do not know some of the challenges that I had faced as being a mother, being a wife, and even being a business owner. And so I've broken it down into 3 different sections to target different genres. So the first genre is my children's book, which is called Ruby's First Day in Foster Care, which features the primary character is Ruby, and she is going into foster care for the first time. And she also has a foster family, and very easy to read book. The next book is for young teens, which is called Poverty to Profession, letting teenage girls know that there is a way out. It deals with self-esteem, issues with bullying, dealing with parents that have mental health issues, even fathers that are incarcerated, or even being experienced, as I was, being institutionalized in a residential program for 9 months. I had so much trauma that I had to address. So therapy is one of those things that I needed, even now. So the last book, which is called Seal the Deal, like a CEO, which means conquer every obstacle. And I truly mean I have to conquer every obstacle in my life. And my therapist, I love her so much. She comes to my job. She comes to my home. Sometimes she may travel with me to class, just so that I have the things that I need in order to be successful and birth out my greatness and birth out my visions. It would not be possible if I had a roadblock. I know that, all the things that I experienced, they all come back into play, into my life. So, and it prevents me from giving back. So if I don't have God therapy and my support system, which is my husband, and all of that stuff is rolled into that book. Yes. I have the greatest husband, Mr. William L. Rivers. Yes, that is my husband. That is my rock. He supports me in every every single avenue, every business venture that I think of. He's right behind me 110%. So I will not downplay that at all. I also have staff members in my first business that are very committed to being advocates of childcare. These ladies love me in the aspect of, okay, they support everything that I'm doing. And so when I call them up and say, I need you because I'm doing so-and-so, what time you need me to be there? How can we make this happen? So it truly takes that support system, that community, friends in business. I have coaches that are in other cities. They look out for me. They speak to me. We talk with each other. We connect. I have friends, longtime friends. So it really takes my village in order to really see what I have and unlock the things that I've learned over the past 5 to 6 years. So yes, that is how I've become successful. And I've got a stream, and I mean so many other things to offer. This is just what's coming for January 2020. The business conference, of course, is coming up, which is all about the business at the Aloft downtown, March 13th and 14th. I have so many vendors. I have book publishers. I have branding attorneys. I have commercial real estate developers. I have everybody underneath one roof, and it sits exactly 120 recipients. I've already got 65 tickets sold, and we're going to give away 2 free tickets today.
Yes, 2 free tickets. So I guess, so how are we going to do for the free tickets? You want to do a secret word, or what do they need to do to get these free tickets?
Gotcha. So what they need to do for the free tickets, they would need to visit my website at talkbizcredit.com and simply just register online. Once you register online, I know I've got your contact information, and it's going to be put into a raffle, and I'll announce the winners here pretty soon.
Oh, great. Now, can you kind of go over a little bit about what are the main mistakes that most entrepreneurs make to where they don't succeed or they get delayed?
Gotcha. So the number one thing asked by the feedback from 33% principal owners was lack of funding. We do not spend enough time doing the startup process with funding. So we fail once we get started. We run out of money, and it's like, okay, I don't have a support system. 9 times out of 10, you don't have family or friends that supporting your vision, and so you just are burnt out. And so there are programs in play in cities, not just Louisville, but outside of Louisville. If you look for, you can look on Eventbrite that teaches principles for entrepreneurs, personal business, wealth and succession. I have a bunch of resources online for that. However, again, we need to spend enough time in the startup phase. Recently, I just went through one of a trial through University of Kentucky called the Entrepreneurship Boot Camp, and so it's a 12-week program where it teaches you to pitch your ideas to investors to be able to win money, and this money isn't tied to anything but your vision. So there are some key resources and other entrepreneurs in the city that's their strong suit that they can teach you, that can coach you on how to pitch your ideas to investors. So if you spend enough time in the startup phase, and when I mean the startup phase, you need to at least have about 3 months of expenses saved up, and then once your business credit kicks in, there we go, in 90 days, you'll be able to have some moving room and to be able to fulfill big orders. If you're in the service industry, if you have products, you'll be able to buy your products to be able to sell to consumers. So it all plays a piece, but that is one of the biggest struggles. The other struggle is making sure your finances are set up beforehand. So your personal credit, having an accountant, having a CPA, having a bookkeeper. You need those things, because within my first year, that was my biggest downfall. I believe I ended up owing the IRS probably about $60,000 because I did not have those right people in place. I always thought I can do it myself, and you know, the do it yourself method does not work all the time. So in business, you need to locate a firm that their primary mission and goal in business operations is to do accounting, bookkeeping, taxes, any of that.
Awesome. Well, we're going to have you back again because this is just going to be a part one, because there's